Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have a Hall of Fame or not. So pretty much we have everybody who is on the WWE's roster, and we will be putting them in the Hall of Fame or not, based on if they were to retire today. Now obviously there's going to be some people who are very young who aren't going to be there just because of that, but that's just simply because how we're doing the format. But yeah, a lot of people to do. Ready to get into things?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, we have a ton of people to do, so I'm not going to spend too much time on each person. But yeah, let's start it.
We start off with Adam Pearce. I think this is a no.
Yeah, definitely a no for me.
Next up, Adriana Rizzo.
No.
Our first Hall of Fame, AJ Styles.
Yes.
Then we have Alba Fire.
No, not. I feel like there's definitely potential for her, but if it were to retire today, no.
Yeah. Next up, Alexa Bliss. Now this one's kind of tough. I think she just will be because she is a part of that era of just all of the best women's, or the rise of women's wrestling in WWE. So I think kind of by default she will get a spot eventually.
And she'll probably get in as part of the Wyatts at some point either way. So even if she doesn't get in as Alexa Bliss, she'll get in as the Wyatts or the Wyatt Six or however they want to kind of word that.
Next up, Alex Shelley. So for this one, I think a lot of people would say no. However, I'm going to go with yes because WWE isn't against putting non-WWE guys, and now that he actually is in WWE, I think they have a more reason. But Keiji Muto, or Great Muta, he is in the WWE Hall of Fame now, and he hasn't wrestled in WWE, or wrestled very little bit. So honestly, I would probably say yes.
Yeah, I could imagine that they'll be there for a year or two, maybe even longer. So, you know, in that time, they'll probably rack up some title wins. So, I'll say yes, sure.
Next up, Alicia Taylor. Unfortunately, probably not, but I could definitely see her eventually going there. Plus, for her role, it's kind of hard to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, Andrade.
I'm going to say no. Just hasn't quite built up the accolades that you would want a Hall of Famer to have.
He can be somebody that's not like in the Hall of Fame immediately, but could eventually get down the line once they kind of need a few fill-ins and stuff like that. But next up, we have Berto.
Angel Garza.
Or Angel Garza.
But yeah,
okay.
no.
Yeah. Next up, Angelo Dawkins.
No. Once again, just not enough accolades. Same with Apollo Crews, just not quite there. Ariana Grace, not quite there. Ashante Adonis, not quite there. Asuka,
Yes.
yeah, I'd say yes. It's kind of maybe a little bit iffy, honestly, depending on, I guess, what she does moving forward. Like, if she gets, like, another title, 2 more titles, whatever, then I could see it. But like you said, if it were to retire today, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold that they would do it. I would put her, but I don't know if they would.
I feel like they would, because even they recognize that she is still one of the best. She has the crazy NXT run, and then obviously when she got to main roster, didn't start too well. But honestly, I think she probably would get a spot.
I would hope so.
Next up, Austin Theory.
No.
Too young as of right now.
Ava, she would retire. She would be in the Hall of Fame because she's related to The Rock. Axiom, I mean, shit. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but probably not. Bailey and Becky, both, of course, going to be Hall of Famers, part of the 4 Horsewomen. Now, here we have Berto and no. B-Fab, no. Bianca,
yes.
Yeah, definitely. If Alex Shelley's there, then, you know.
And not many women can say they main evented a WrestleMania as well, and she's able to say that. So, yeah. Next up, Big E.
Yes.
This is a yes. Maybe not as a singles wrestler. I would assume he probably would get there too, but obviously as a New Day as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, we have a guy that I can't tell, so that probably means no.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. Starts with a B, whatever it is.
Booker T, I'm pretty sure he already is in the Hall of Fame. Braun Strowman.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, he had
part of the Wyatts or something like that. Even his singles, you know, he had a decent singles run, I guess.
Yeah.
Brindley Reese. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, probably yes. Honestly, it's kind of 50-50. It's if you go based off his accolades, yes. If you go based off of, you know, recent things that came out about him, obviously no.
Yeah. It honestly depends on how this court case is going to go. But assuming that he ends up being cleared, then yes. And yeah. Braun Breaker, again, too young. And I think if it was today, unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Bronco Nima, another easy no. Bronson Reed still hasn't done too much in the WWE yet. Brooks Jensen, another no. Brutus Creed, probably not. Again, just too young.
Yeah.
Byron Saxton's an interesting one because he's been with the company for so long at this point that I could honestly see him being like, they don't really do like special inductees, but I feel like he could get like an honorary Hall of Fame mention.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff. I believe he does SmackDown. He's done some NXT as well. He's doing pay-per-views. He's doing the talk shows. A lot of their like little random, shows that they do. He's part of as well. So I'm not opposed to him being in the Hall of Fame.
Candice LeRae, I think if this was a Wrestling Hall of Fame, without a doubt. Unfortunately, I don't think her WWE run is going to give her that. And also, she's not on that level of Alex Shelley to kind of that. So, unfortunately, no. But hopefully, she can have a case sooner down the line.
This person, I'm not exactly sure who she is, to be honest.
Yeah, NXT person or LFG Evolve, whatever. So, probably no. Carlito, I would say yes.
I would say no.
Huh.
I would say no on him.
I can see why, but I feel like he might be one of those people that eventually get in, as kind of like almost on an Andrade level or something.
Yeah, I could see it, but I probably wouldn't in mind.
Because he's pretty iconic as well. He is one of the most. A lot of people know Carlito who might not know a lot about wrestling. They're like, oh, that's the apple spinning guy. So he is kind of popular. So, but yeah, Carmelo Hayes.
No, too young. Kathy Kelly, Twitter Hall of Fame, they would definitely put her there. However, in, the WWE Hall of Fame, no. Chad Gable, same as well, no. Channing Stacks, no. Charlie Dempsey, no. Charlotte, yes. Chelsea. If it were today, I'd have to probably say no.
Yeah.
She is the first women's United States champion, so there's that. That is a big accolade to hold. She technically, if she were to retire today, she'd be the longest reigning, first ever. She would have all the accolades for it, so her name would be in the history books forever. So you could, put her there based on that.
Would you say Santino Marella would be in the Hall of Fame?
He probably will be. Yeah, sure.
Then yeah, I'll say yes. Because kind of how I look at it as of right now, obviously I think she'll end up being better than Santino. But I think that's kind of how I would see it. As mentioned for Alex Shelley, for Chris Sabin as well, and then CM Punk, obviously no. And then Cody Rhodes, I think at this point, I think it's a yes. Maybe at the start of his return to WWE, maybe not, but now I think it's kind of solidified. Cora Jade, unfortunately too young. Corey Graves.
Nah, I don't think so. He hasn't. The resume isn't quite there yet, I feel like, for a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Has a long way to go, though.
One of the members.
Cruz del Toro, I believe it is.
Yeah.
But no. Everyone from Chase U, no. Dakota, no. Priest, no. Even though he is a champion, but
yeah, Priest is kind of a tough one, just because he's a former United States champion. He's a former World Heavyweight champion. Had the match with Bad Bunny. So then I think there's kind of an argument, but I could understand a no.
Yeah, I'll say no myself.
Danny Palmer, I believe, no. Dante Chen, no. Eric Rowan, or no.
Dexter Lumis. No.
Yeah.
The Wyatt Six, if you had to retire him today, they haven't done anything to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So by the time the Wyatt Six actually done, though, they'll probably be in the Hall of Fame.
Hopefully.
Dom? No. Can't put him in, but
Yeah.
then the Dexter Lumis category of, by the time he's done, he'll probably be in the Hall of Fame.
Dragon Lee, unfortunately, no, but you are the best speed champion of all time. Drew McIntyre, probably yes. I think.
I don't know.
Because he was a guy who got. I think the story of him makes him bigger, and then just what he's accomplished since then. He's feuding with the top guys, so I think he honestly would be.
I would probably say no, but I wouldn't argue against it.
I'm gonna put him in the Hall of Fame. Eddie Thorpe, no.
Idris something.
Inoue,
I
I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
Eric, no. Eric, no.
Yes, Wyatt's.
Oh
The
yeah.
actual Wyatt
Well, I
family.
guess if he's there, then I guess
Well,
Dexter.
Dex-
Yeah, he's original.
Wyatt's
yeah,
family,
Yeah.
not Wyatt 6.
Ethan Page, no. Fallon, no. Finn, interesting one.
NXT Hall of Fame, so he'd get that.
I mean, it has a lot of classic matches.
I think yes, because they have acknowledged his past in Japan, so I think that gives him a little bit of a boost as well. So honestly, I think he probably would be.
Yeah, I would hope so. He definitely would deserve it, as far as his career in totality. But when you look at just his WWE career, I mean, he has won a lot of titles and stuff like that. So yeah, sure.
Gigi Dolin, no, unfortunately. Julia, again, too young, unfortunately, no. Grayson Waller, similar situation, too young. Gunther,
I mean, yeah, he's the longest reigning
longest.
IC types and IC champion.
Mm-hmm.
And he would retire with the belt if he were retired today.
Yeah, so yeah.
Had a lot of great matches.
Hank, from Hank and Tank, obviously another no. Humberto.
Yeah, no.
Ilya Dragunov, unfortunately no. Ivar, no. Ivy Nile, no. EO.
I mean, now she's a 2-time world champion. She's
NXT
been
champion.
And multiple great feuds. She's had great WrestleMania matches.
Honestly, I think I think if she retired today, she would go down as one of the best WWE women's wrestlers. And being, a foreigner to come into WWE is very hard to be at the top, and she has been able to be at the top pretty much almost her entire time on main roster, at least. Obviously, the start of Damage Control, she really wasn't the main focus, but by the end of that story, she was.
Yeah, I feel like with this, now that she's won the title a second time, I feel like I could agree and put her in Hall of Fame. I feel like it does, help that little bit to have it a second time.
And a Money in the Bank winner as well.
Mm-hmm.
Carmen Petrovich, no. This is Jackie Redmond, I believe.
Yeah.
I do really like her, but unfortunately hasn't have enough time yet. Honestly, she could, because I know she is like a hockey commentator, so maybe that could get her a boost, but for wrestling, unfortunately, no. Jacob Fatu,
no.
too early.
JC Jane, no. Jade Cargill, no. Jada Parker, no. Jakara Francis, no. Javier Burnell, no. Jasmine Nix, no. JD, no. Javon, no. Usos, yes. As a tag team for sure. As a singles competitor, maybe Jey Uso gets it with this, big WrestleMania moment he's about to get. But today I would say no. After Mania, probably yes.
Joaquin Wild, no. Joe Gacy, no. Joe Gacy. Joe Testoro, no. John Cena, no. Johnny Gargano, no. Summer situation, Andrade, and he would be in the NXT Hall of Fame at least. Jordan, no. Briggs, no. Other Creed, no. Kyrie, no. This is...
That's Carmen. The person we were earlier was actually Izzy Dame, which also would have been a no anyway.
Okay. Karen Cross, another no.
Casey's, I love them, but no.
Yeah. Maybe could get as a tag team if they, can go down as one of the better women's tag teams down the line, but right now, no. Kalani, no.
Kayla Braxton, no. Well, no, probably not. I think it is. I don't know. Right. If it's not, whatever. It's in the case, so whatever.
Another person, Kylie Reese, I think.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Kevin Owens, for me, yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Kiana James, no. Kofi, I think this is another yes.
That's part of New Day, no matter what, he's in there.
LA Knight, probably not.
Lash, no. Lexis King, no. Lillian, yes.
Yeah.
Liv, on her way, but no today. Logan Paul, I mean...
he would get in the the celebrity wing.
Yeah, he'd get it because of that. I guess it kind of depends on how WWE ranks him. Is he still a celebrity or is he just a actual wrestler? Now, I guess it depends on how they look at him.
Because he said himself that he wants to be in as a wrestler. I think we have to also consider as a wrestler, which, no.
Yeah.
Lola Vice, no. Luca Crucifino, no. Luca, I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't know this one.
Kaiser Imperium could maybe get in one day, but probably not.
Yeah, no.
Lyra has the Intercontinental Champion and an NXT Champion, but still probably no.
Yeah. Malik Blade, no. Maurice, no. I'm not a huge, I'm not huge on Maurice, but I guess, that is our argument.
Yeah, she was just really popular, so
yeah.
Maybe thinking about it. Alpha or Maxine Dupree, no. Maybe as an Alpha Academy, but probably not. I think it's another guy.
Mark Coffey, I believe, or something like that.
One of the Coffees or joke. Another person can't tell, so that probably means no. Mako Satomura.
This depends on if they, rate. Other stuff outside of her WWE stuff.
She also was in WCW as well. Very long tenured person who's been in and out of the company. It's close, honestly.
Yeah. I'd probably say no, honestly. But I'm definitely not against her being in it. If it were my Hall of Fame, I would say yes. But being that it's WWE's, I would probably say not. I don't know, though.
Yeah, we'll put her no just to be safe. But yeah, definitely a very close one. Michael Cole, I think it's an easy yes. Meechin, unfortunately no. One of the commentators, forget your name, sorry. But no. Montez Ford, I guess with him and Joe Dawkins, just a no.
Robert Stone,
no. Miles Bourne, no. Now Naomi,
probably a no. By time, if we would let her career finish out, I'd probably say yes. However, right now, probably no. There's an argument though, I guess.
Yeah, Natalia, yes.
Yeah.
Nathan Frazier, unfortunately, no. Nia Jax.
No, but I mean, she probably will be.
Yeah. Nick Aldis. I don't think they would get him in. It would be nice to see him in the WWE Hall of Fame, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, he's great.
Nikki Cross could get in as the Wyatt family, but no one else has made it yet, so no. Also for Nikita, no. Noam Dar, no. Obafemi, who would make my Hall of Fame. Omos, no. Or Mensa, no.
Yeah, Otis, no. Pat McAfee as a celebrity, yes. I mean, he has had WrestleMania matches. He's been in Royal Rumbles. He's faced Vince. He's he's the commentator obviously for NXT and for Raw and SmackDown. I believe he's done SmackDown too, so he's done everything. I'd probably say yes for Pat McAfee, whether it be as a celebrity, a commentator, or whatever it may be. He'll get in that some way.
Okay, Paul Heyman, easy yes, obviously already is. Penta, probably not, but
there's potential.
Yeah, because
but as if it was today, I mean, you have to say no because obviously, so early in his WWE career.
Pete Dunne, unfortunately, no. Piper, no. Pretty Deadly, no. Randy Orton, yeah. Raquel Rodriguez, probably no.
Yeah, no way.
Rey Mysterio is already in. Rhea Ripley,
close, but probably not.
I mean, we do have Bianca Belair there, and I think Rhea is just more of a star than what.
Yeah, I mean, she is just a mega star, so I guess you kind of, throw her in there.
I think she's already iconic enough for the WWE history book, so.
Yeah, she's got a few years, few titles, some WrestleManias in there, so yeah.
Rich Holland, never. Riley Osborne, no. Robert Roode.
I've never been a big fan, but I know, he has a big TNA history. A lot of people love him from his NXT and his early, wrestling days before he retired in the WWE, obviously. So, I mean, I'll leave this one up to you.
Would Finley make the list? Because not only is he a TNA legend now, so with that TNA, bridge and relationship, that helps him. He is an NXT kind of standout. Did a little bit of time on main roster, wasn't nothing bigger, obviously, but is now also a producer, and I can also assume he's a trainer as well. So he could. I think there's a real case for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I'll leave this one up to you. I'm cool with either one.
I'll go with yes, because we also have Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, obviously not on that level, but yeah. Roman Reigns, yes. Roxanne Perez, unfortunately, no.
Yeah, I mean, that's maybe an argument just because, she has accomplished a lot in, NXT. She put on great matches, but yeah, I don't think if Liv's not in there, then Roxanne can't be in there.
R-Truth, I think this is an easy yes.
Yeah, for, set different reasons for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny, no. I guess Sammy, yeah. Santos, no. Don't know. Couldn't tell you. But Scarlett, no. This guy, no. Seth, no. Actually, just kidding. Yes. Shane McMahon, probably so. I mean, he's done a lot of cool things. He's a McMahon. I mean, he'll be in there.
Yeah. Sean Spears, no. Shayna Baszler.
Probably not, but there's definitely a world where she is.
Another NXT Hall of Famer if they ever want to do that branch. But Sheamus, I think this is another easy yes.
Yeah.
Kind of similar way to Kofi. Shinsuke.
Probably not, but it'd be cool.
Another guy that kind of has the... They have played into his history at New Japan as well, so I think that kind of gives him a help.
At the same time, if Finn is in the Hall of Fame, then I guess Shinsuke should be in the Hall of Fame because he technically, you could say, accomplished more than Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah,
technically, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll have him. Next up, Shotzi, unfortunately, no. Solo, probably not, but... Well, no, he'd get as the bloodline, though. As OG bloodline.
I guess it depends how they do it. I would say no, but it's whatever. It's Solo, so, it's whatever.
I'm going to put him in no, because he wouldn't make us a single star, let's say that. Sol Ruka, unfortunately, no. Stephanie, too young, even though she is already a double champion.
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility, but probably not.
Yeah. Stephanie McMahon, we have Shane there. She only fits.
Yeah. Stevie Turner, I believe.
Yeah, no. Tama Tonga, unfortunately, no. Could get in as the bloodline, but Solo's not there for it. So, Tamina, probably just a long tenured woman there, and seems to be like a mother backstage for some people. Tank, no. Tatum Paxley, no. Tavion Heights, unfortunately, no. Thea Hale, also no. The Miz, yeah.
Yeah, it probably has to be.
Tiffany Stratton,
no.
Too young. Titus, probably yeah, because he is like the ambassador now for WWE. But as a wrestler, ooh.
More known for a slide than anything. I'd probably say no myself.
Yeah. Ciampa, unfortunately, no. Tongaloa, no. Tony D, unfortunately, no. Kira, no. Trick Williams, no. Triple H is going in this year. Tyler Bate, no. Tyreek or Tyrese, forget who this is. But NXT guys, so unfortunately, no.
Wesley's teammates.
Uncle Howdy.
Probably so. I would say so.
Yeah.
Him, he's been there since the beginning, of the whole Wyatt thing. So yeah, why not?
Valhalla, no. I think this is Vic Joseph. Probably not.
No.
But I think I definitely have a case down the line. Wade Barrett.
I mean, maybe.
Iconic group. Never won the world title, obviously, but got the feud with John Cena, had a match against Bret Hart. So
Yeah, if he doesn't get in as Nexus, then he could potentially get in just based off his singles career, and if it's not based off his singles career, he could get in as a commentator now.
Yeah.
Because he is really good there as well. So I'll put him in Hall of Fame for something. No matter what it is, something.
He's in too much to not be in there.
No.
Wendy Chu, no. Wesley, no. William Regal,
Yes,
probably.
for sure.
Wolfgang, no.
Ren Sinclair, no. Xavier, yes. Zarya, probably, I would hope she will be by the time she's done, but right now, no.
And then Zelina Vega, unfortunately not. But then Zoe Stark, to finish this out, is also unfortunately a no. And yeah, this is our list. We obviously have a lot more no's, but I think that's just honestly right now. A lot of people can easily change in a few years' time. But yeah, anything you would probably change this list?
Yeah, not really. Like you said, a lot of these people are young and probably will get into the Hall of Fame by the end of their career. However, like we said, if they had to retire today, I'm cool with this list, I would say.
Yeah, I think the only one that I think would probably be is just Naomi and probably Nia Jax as well. Just because there are two icons in the women's division of this era, and probably Carlito as well. But besides that, yeah, I pretty much agree with everything. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.